time of the year. It's Christmas time. You can't really see the tree, but it's there. What is up, fans? Breaking down the film from the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. I got a ton of plays. I asked you guys what plays you would like me to see break down, and then I wrote down a few that I thought were quite interesting and pivotal to the game. I have a lot, so we got a lot to get to. But before we jump into that, I have to shout out my guys at. They have a huge Black Friday deal going on. If you buy 2 or more canvases, you get 20% off if you use the promo code DDW20. And on top of that, you're going to get a $10 gift card. Just go to backroomcollections.net. You use the promo code DDW20 if you buy 2 or more canvases. Get yourself 20% off and a $10 gift card. They got fantastic stuff. You've already seen it popping up while I'm talking. Go over and check it out. But let's get into this film breakdown. I got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the interception. We're going to talk about the deep pass that just torn people apart, which I don't understand why. People are dissecting it, saying it was like a punt. It floated in the air, like all the negatives, instead of just enjoying it. Something happened to this fan base that they got so negative, some of these people. It just makes no sense to me. So we're going to break that down. We're going to break down Javon Holland's play. A lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's jump into this. So we're going to start off with the wheel route to Mike Gesicki that actually got us down the field. This is the opening drive. And I absolutely love this play here. They're in the pistol, and it's going to be a little RPO-ish type thing where Tua is going to act like he's going to hand it off to Gaskin, which is going to freeze these 3 guys right here. You're going to have, I think this is Waddle running a slant route, and you have Gesicki running a wheel route. And you'll see here, the reason I like this play so much is the slant route takes this corner away, and then the play action here freezes these guys and lets Gesicki get open completely, and he marches right down the field. So I'll play it and we'll see. So if you see here, the play action here, and especially with the pulling blocking here, freezes 1, 2, 3. See how they open themselves up? It freezes them. And then the route by Waddle here takes 27 away, which leaves Mike Gesicki wide open. Easy dump down for a huge gain. Look at it from the back angle. First down. And you'll see, again, watch these guys right here. See how they paused? Go back a scotch. Boom. See how they're flat-footed and they're waiting for him? And they stick with Tua. None of them go with Gesicki, who's wide open. Love the play. And they need to do stuff like that more often. If you notice, a lot of these wheel routes, a lot of these crossing routes, or a lot of these, fake motions really do help. They helped with Albert Wilson getting open against the Ravens. It helped here. It just really helps with these guys getting open. So this is a play action play here. You have Shaheen down here. He's going to come in, block, and then go. And the reason I'm showing you this play, and this has nothing to do with comments. It has nothing to do with trolls, I guess you could say. It has to do with J.C. Jackson coming out and feeding the trolls and feeding the negativity, saying that when Tua gets pressure in his face, he crumbles and he tosses the ball up. He kind of winces and just tosses the ball up. This is a prime example, and I've seen it through most of his career, that Tua stays in the pocket, especially when pressure comes in his face, to try and deliver the ball. How do you think he broke his ribs? He saw the pressure coming, but he thought, I could get that open. This is a prime example here, because you're going to see a ton of pressure get into his face here. You have all these guys blocking, and of course, they just horrible. But you see here, Shaheen's going to come out, and Tua stays in the pocket with pressure in his face and delivers the ball right to Shaheen, right where it needs to be, converting a big down. So, J.C. Jackson is talking out of his butt, if you ask me. Side note, I was sitting about up here. I was sitting in, this section here, about 29 rows back. If I can see me, I'll point them out. So this was one of the plays you guys wanted me to talk about, and obviously I wanted to talk about it because it involves my guy Patrick Laird, who's going to be set up here, kind of like a tight end. He's going to come in, he's going to block, and then he's going to go out. And they need to do that more often because a lot of teams do that to the Dolphins and they gain the first downs and they gain the yardage they need to. But Tua's going to drop back. He's going to scan the field. Nothing's really open. Now, I could actually drop it off right here for the touchdown. He could seriously drop it off right here for the touchdown. We eventually do score the touchdown on this opening drive, but he has a man right here. He's looking over here. And then he looks over and he has him. He should just throw this touchdown right here. I think this is Albert Wilson. He should throw this touchdown right here. That's so funny how he has his hands up like that. He missed it. Pressure gets to him. He dumps it off to Patrick Laird, who breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles. We got to look at it from the other angle. If I get him back on the channel on the bye week, I'm going to talk to him about this. Block goes out. He should have thrown it right there. Throw it to the open guy. Dumps it off. Look at that. 1. Ducks under it. 2, 3. Oh, so almost got that touchdown. But yeah, he had Albert Wilson for the touchdown there. And here's the touchdown. So they did this a lot. They did it a lot. At first, it probably got into the Jets' mind that Tua is going out, kind of wildcat formation. They did it too much in the game, to be honest with you. But this time it works. Gives it to Waddle. Waddle bounces to the outside, uses his speed. Really easy touchdown. There's not much I could talk about with that play. We'll look at it from the other angle, but it's just Waddle uses his speed. Because if these guys set the edge, or if Waddle is just any bit slower, which he could have actually kept it and probably ran for a touchdown, but if he was any slower, they was going to get catched. But great touchdown. So this was a third down play right after we scored. And Dolphins are in zone here. And you're going to see, you think that they're sending pressure. They're going to drop Javon Holland back. And it's going to be Andrew Van Ginkel's job to cover here. They're going to bump and run him. And just, this man is supposed to stick with him. If this is a cover 2, which I don't think it's a cover 2 because you have a single high safety, you're supposed to have a zone here, 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 and here. I'll show you real quick. You're supposed to have a zone here, 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 and here. So essentially covering the first down markers. His zone is here. But he bumps and runs with him. So he follows him too much, leaving a zone. I think he's playing this zone. Leaving the zone open. In turn, causing the conversion of the third down. Because you'll see, I'll rewind it. You'll see here. And yeah, this is nitpicking because the defense played okay for the most part. We'll talk about some of the bad plays, some of the good plays. But you'll see, he's going to follow him deep, right? He's supposed to come over. And by him not coming over, it leaves it wide open. Easy conversion of the third down. They ended up not scoring on this drive. It still stayed 7-0. But it's like they need to stop playing zone. They need to continue to play man. Just cover your man and just get after the quarterback. But they keep changing to zone. It just drives me nuts. So this is the interception. You're going to have Waddle. He's going to come in motion. Waddle's going to be running a crossing route. You're going to have an in route from Matt Collins. And I think you're going to have a comeback route here. And he it's not a bad decision. It's just a bad execution of the decision. And you'll see, I'll show you when he gets open, and then when he gets open, Tua decides to throw it. So you're going to get Waddle in motion here. Crossing route, right? Boom. He sees that he's open. Clean pocket. Sees that he's open. They're making eye contact. They got that Alabama connection. Listen, I'm here. So he lets it rip. And just sails it. He just sails it completely. It's just a completely inaccurate bad pass. It happens. Happens to the best quarterbacks. Wish it didn't. It's right there. Just rip it, man. Don't try to put too much air on. Just get the ball to him. because he's open. He's not open yet, but then he eventually gets open. He's open, and he sees it, and he just sails it. It's just that easy. Made the right decision, just didn't execute properly. We'll look at it from the other angle so you could see. Just sails it a little bit. He's got a clean pocket. You can already see up here Waddle's breaking on his route. Lets it rip. Just, look, he even tries to come back for it. Just sails it. So happened there that the safety was over there. Throws the interception. Again, pick the right man to throw it to. Just sailed it a little bit. So this is 2nd and goal. And I want you guys to focus on Christian Wilkins here. Because I remember when we first drafted him, people were like, all right, he's not bad. He's a pretty athletic defensive tackle from Clemson. And then throughout the rookie year, people were like, oh, he sucks. He's a bust. Da, da, da. He's really coming into his all, and he's really coming into being a really big run-stopping help from us. If you're going to watch Christian Wilkins here, he's going to get some great penetration into the backfield, and he's going to stop this run. Again, this is 2nd and goal. Like, just right in the backfield, grabs his ankles, and just the rest of them do their job. Clean up tackling. That's all Christian Wilkins there, though. The rest of the defense, helps, but he's the one who gets right in the backfield and just smacks his ankles. Great play by Christian Wilkins. So this is the touchdown. And if this was Miami, they're getting called the flag for offensive pass interference. So essentially this wide receiver here, he's going to come up, and it looks like he does a curl route. It's going to be a shallow route here. Flacco is going to hit the shallow route because he gets butt naked open because of what 84 does here. And you'll see pushes his man and just gets in the way. Touchdown. I don't know how you don't call that offensive pass interference, because we got called. I'm going to talk about our offensive pass interferences and our defensive pass interference. But I don't understand how you don't call this pass interference. Blatantly gets in front of Byron Jones. Blatantly gets in front of Byron Jones. I don't know if you can really see it from this angle, but just completely in front of Byron Jones. I may be wrong, but I think that's a pick play. I think that's offensive pass interference, and I don't think the touchdown should have counted. I think they should have been 10 yards back and redo the down. And it was 4th down. That was 4th down. They probably kicked the field goal or missed the field goal. So this is 3rd down. 7-7 at this point. This is the drive right after we gave up the touchdown. Here's another play, and just like the Patrick Laird play, he's not going to, for some reason, I don't know if he doesn't see him or if he's trying to force something further down the field, but it's 3rd down. Got to get past the 35 for a 1st down. You're going to have Albert Wilson here. He's just going to run a crossing route, shallow crossing route, and he gets open. He gets open to the point where he waves his arms at Tua, and I think Tua's just looking for something deep. Or looking for something further downfield. Because you'll see here, right there, throw it. That's a 1st down. He'll break something. But knowing Albert Wilson will probably run backwards, try to go around the other way. But he'll get the 1st down here because no one else is open. Not open, not open, not open. He's open. And it looks like he's worried about the pressure and then throws the ball to him. We'll look at it from the other angle, but when he's open, it looks like he's worried about the pressure. Because he's open here. This is when he should have thrown it. He's looking over here. Nothing's open yet. Guys are getting driven into him. This is when you throw it. Right now. See how he's looking at him? Just throw it. But he's like hopping on his back foot and he's letting it rip. I think that's what happened. He's focused on his right. And then when he gets over to his left, he's backpedaling because Robert Hunt's coming into his face. Because he's open now, but look at his stance. He's trying to back up from Robert Hunt coming his way, so his feet aren't planted. His one foot's actually up in the air. So that would kind of be like a cockeyed throw, which we don't know how that would end up. So once he plants his feet, Robert Hunt gets broken off of, and then he tries to get it to him. Should have thrown it sooner. The pressure got to him. I think, like I showed you with the Adam Shaheen play where he stayed in the pocket with the pressure coming up in his face. I think he should have just been a little bit more poised with Robert Hunt getting driven back into him and just delivered that ball to Albert Wilson for the first down. If you guys remember, this is my 12th film breakdown of the season. My biggest thing is the horrible tackling. And there is an instance in this film breakdown where it's bad tackling. I think 3 guys just slide off the offensive player. But Javon Holland, it took him about a week or two, right? It took him about a week or two to get into the groove of the NFL. He is just playing lights out. And this is the type of tackling I want to see. If a running back is going to try to drive up the middle, if a running back is going to drive a lane, watch what Javon Holland does. It's going to be, I think this is Michael Carter. It's going to be a handoff to him. He's going to take it over here. And there's going to be a lane right here. Javon Holland's going to come up and he's going to meet him. And he doesn't throw his body into him. He doesn't go down and try to take his legs out. He doesn't try to outlay him and watch the hit that Javon Holland puts on Carter. And this is what I want to see from all of our defenders. Just watch this hit. That's what I want to see. Squares up, puts his shoulder into his chest, puts him down on the ground. Sees him coming, squares his shoulders up, hits him, puts him down. You're not breaking that. You're not breaking that tackle. He might even be able to get Derrick Henry down with that tackle. Absolutely loving Javon Holland. I tell you guys not to buy actual players' jerseys that are playing out. You might want to get yourself a Javon Holland jersey. So, it's so funny. We've had a few instances of blown coverages go our way. Well, this is a blown coverage on our defense. So we are so dead set on stopping Carter. He has just been a monster for the Jets, completely owning our defense. What they do here is it's I formation, and you're going to have the tight end here sneak out and come over here. And the play action, all of these defenders are going to bite to try to stop Carter. Because, again, he has been a thorn in our side all game. And they don't focus on the tight end who slips out and is wide open. Don't even focus on him. Just wide open. Marches right down the field. And that's because we were so dead set focused on stopping Carter. And that's what a run game can do for you. A run game can make the opposing defense focus on stopping that run, where all of a sudden play actions start to release players wide open, and we start converting. Run game is incredibly important in football. This is the sack fumble. So this isn't a zero blitz, right? Because all we're really going to have here is Brandon Jones blitzing. Brandon Jones and Javon Holland are our new starting safeties. And the fact that we drafted this man in the 3rd and this man in the 2nd, so 1 year after the other, I think we killed it on drafting these 2 safeties because they're so good. Brandon Jones is going to come off the blitz here, just level Joe Flacco in the back. Christian Wilkins picks up the fumble, and he said he got a little excited. So boom, hit, fumble, grabs it from the air, and he said he got so excited because he thought, I can break these tackles and I can get up the field, that he fumbles it. We'll look at it from the other angle and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because he actually starts breaking tackles here. So here he comes down here. You have him blitz. You have him man on man. Level him in the back, catch it. And he starts breaking these tackles. And he probably could have got a little extra yards, but thank God we got the ball back. And who gets it back? Javon Holland. So this is a run by Myles Gaskin, and it's a bad block by Ritter. Ritter is supposed to block 57 here. So it's going to be a run up the middle, and Ritter is supposed to block 57. He's going to come around, and he doesn't block anybody. You never want your blocker, your offensive lineman, to get to the second level and stand there and look for someone to block. That's never a good thing. Myles Gaskin actually had a pretty decent game. I think it was like 20 carries for 67, 68 yards. He had a pretty decent game. If Ritter just gets his block, so again, this is the lane that Myles Gaskin's going to hit. He's got his guy blocked. He's going to go past it. He's got him blocked. He's supposed to pick up 57 here. Just doesn't. He blocks nobody. Essentially, 57 makes the tackle. And you know how he messed up because it's going to cut, but watch his reaction. He knows he messed up. See how he puts his head up? He knows he messed up. He was supposed to get that block. Which probably, if he gets that block, we'll look at it again. Probably big run here. Makes that block. There's no one really. You got the safety over here. He's probably going upfield by a lot. Again, the offensive line, there's so many stats, and I'll talk about this when I preview the game, but there's so many stats that shows how bad the offensive line is and how we're trying to work around how bad the offensive line is. So if you guys remember when I talked about Javon Holland and the tackling I want to see and the hit, this is what I'm talking about with tackling that we're getting. Just, how do you not make that tackle? Both of you. Just slips right through. It's like, there needs to be some additions, you know. These little mess ups suck in the end. If we win, I'm all right with it. Kind of brush it off. But when I see it, I'm like, let me point this out. So this is a play that I'm actually going to give Joe Flacco a lot of credit. You know, a lot of people like to crap on him. He is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. This is why they started him over Mike White and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is still a little banged up. I'm hearing that he will start this week, though, against the Houston Texans, being that Flacco and Mike White are on COVID reserve. But this is the reason why they started him over Mike White, is because we're going to send a blitz at him, and he's going to get pressure right up the gut. But he's going to hit this receiver who's going to be running an out route. He's going to stay in the pocket, and he's going to take the hit and still hit the receiver. And that is the difference between him. So you pressure right up the gut by Zealer. And he knows he's going to cut on that end right. He can even throw to the tight end here. But he takes the hit, and he gets the pass off. I don't think they convert the first down there. But that is why they played Joe Flacco versus White and Wilson, because when we send that zero blitz or when we send pressure at him, instead of having these young rookies crumble or get frazzled or not know what to do, Flacco's that veteran who's going to get that ball off and make the plays. And I'll show you the other play that they made. So this is a third down conversion. It's a pass to Gesicki here. He's going to be running a crossing route. Nice, beauteous crossing route that they love to have Gesicki run. And he's going to get offensive pass interference. And we're going to watch the play. I'm going to just let you guys watch it, and then I'll point out what I noticed. So we'll see if you notice the same thing I noticed. Watch Gesicki here. He's going to be the one who's going to get the ball, and he's also going to be the one who's going to get offensive pass interference after a huge conversion on third down. What I'm seeing here, and I'll show you where the pass interference happens, and a lot of the pass interference is the defender is on his right arm. And when he runs the route, he turns his body to continue running the route to his right. And the defender's actually grabbing his shoulder. So he pulls his arm, and it makes it look like he pushes him. But he never extends his elbow. If you watch it, I wish I could zoom in. But if you watch it, he never pushes. His arm is like this. I don't know if you can see, but his arm is turned. His arm, like he's grabbing his arm and he's like looking like he's about to arrest him. Never pushes him. And then this ref, 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 yards away, throws the flag to where it happened. Are you kidding me? They call that pass interference. We might be able to see it better at this angle. Right? Grabbing him. If you're throwing the flag, my dude, you're calling holding on the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down, which we would decline because we got. He never pushes off. Again, we'll look here. Happens right about here. He's grabbing him, blatantly grabbing him, and he just lets go. I'm sorry, it's such a bad call. And if you're gonna call that from what I say, like 30 yards away, you got to be kidding me. He's grabbing him. And then he just gets off of him grabbing him. I'm so glad we won this game. Because if these refs were trying to give the Jets the game, it was such a bad call. So if you guys remember or watch my film breakdowns, I always talk about the inconsistencies with Tua, right? And the third down conversion that I talked about before, where he had Wilson open and he didn't get the ball to him, or even the interception, how he had Waddle, but he kind of sailed it a little bit. He makes plays like this, and it shows me that those mistakes that he made, he could fix. And if he could fix them, and if he can be consistent, he can be a really good quarterback in the NFL. So you're going to have Albert Wilson here. He's going to be running an out route, and Tua's going to get pressure on him very quickly because Jesse Davis is hot garbage. And watch him again. J.C. Jackson says, once Tua gets pressure in his face, he crumbles and he just tosses the ball up and hopes and prays that people catch that. And then the people who don't like Tua, oh, well, why a defender's saying it is wrong. It's just wrong. And this is a prime example of why it's wrong. Pressure's going to come off the edge because, again, Jesse Davis is hot garbage. And what does he do? Steps up, gives himself time. And people underestimate how hard of a throw this is. Not only are you stepping up and you're moving, but you're throwing it from the left hash mark all the way to the right sideline. If anybody knows football and anybody, just look up how hard of a throw this is and look where Tua puts this. Right where it needs to be. We'll look at it from the reverse angle so you can see him evading the pressure because Jesse Davis is hot garbage. And again, this shows the plays that I'm like, all right, he can do something here. Steps up. Lets it rip. Boom. Right where it needs to be, easy first down conversion. He needs to do these more often. He needs to convert these, which he starts to as he's playing. And I'm noticing as he's playing, he's getting used to playing behind a garbage offensive line. Because again, there's stats I'm going to give you guys on Friday that are going to blow your mind with the way Tua is playing behind this garbage offensive line. Because he gets a ton of pressure, but he has a very, very good capability, like I just showed you, of evading that pressure and getting the ball out of his hands. So a few plays later, they're down here, and I think this is right before the half. I think there was 30-something seconds left. 28 seconds left. 1st and 10. And again, what did I say? Inconsistencies. He's going to, right here, you're going to have Gesicki, and he's just going to be running a go route to the back of the end zone. I don't think they had any timeouts at this point. So you have to, all your passes kind of have to be in the end zone or at the sidelines. But at this point, it should be a chip shot. It wasn't. Sanders missed. I don't know what's going on with him. But he misses Gesicki for a touchdown. 7-7 at this point, and he misses Gesicki for a touchdown. And you'll see when I'll pause it when he should throw it. Now. Right here. Because these guys are covered. Covered. Has them. You drop that ball right here. That's a touchdown. He beat him. Absolutely beat him. He got to make those throws. Again, and like I said before with the Patrick Laird pass, he had Albert Wilson literally waving his arms in the end zone. You gotta throw those, man. Then he tries to evade the pressure. Tries to throw it in here. He had him. Because you could see, and he gets frustrated, which I don't blame Gesicki. Has him. Gets frustrated. You got to make those throws. Because you had the opportunity to throw that. Got to make those throws. And again, he shows plays where he can stay in the pocket, he can absorb the pressure, he can make the throws, but then all of a sudden he misses throws. He's very inconsistent. I don't know. So it's first down here. This is after half. I don't know. I know it's a zone coverage. And, you have Brandon Jones up here, and you have Javon Holland here. So it could be a type of cover 2. I know it's zone, but I just don't know, you'll see what I'm talking about, because you're going to have, essentially, he's going to come in motion, he's going to come around here, and then he's just going to run a go route, and nobody covers him. Absolutely nobody covers him. You'll see. Here he comes into motion, and I'm assuming Javon Holland's supposed to be the guy, but look how far back he is. And all of a sudden they switch off here and just, nope, nobody's covering him. Nobody's covering him. Nobody's covering him. Curl. Easy 20-something yard pass. What? Stop calling zone. Stick to man. Stick to being aggressive. Stick to sending pressure. And let your secondary do their thing. Stop calling zone. And especially stop dropping Jalen Phillips into coverage, please. So this is going to be offensive pass interference, but this is just like the Ravens game where we have Albert Wilson in motion. And it's going to kind of be like a screen, but option type play. He's also going to have the tight end come over. And it's going to be offensive pass interference here to Jalen Waddle, which it is. At first, I was screaming in the stadium, like, well, why are we getting so many offensive pass interferences? This one is one, though. So, he's going to come around. He can even dump it off to him, and he's going to block for him. But both of these guys tried to stop Waddle here. So Albert Wilson keeps going, and you can see here, he's blocking. He's already blocking, and he hasn't even thrown the ball yet. That's pass interference. But again, it's blown coverage here. Could have been a touchdown if he'd let him a little bit more, but point is mute because I don't know. I don't think that was Javon Holland. I think that was Mac Hollins. My apologies. Or Isaiah Ford. No, that's Javon Holland. That's Jalen Waddle, number 17. Yeah, just offensive pass interference. Had a big play. Just didn't happen there. Here is the long touchdown pass that everyone is scrutinizing over. Everyone is either happy about it or saying, oh, could have been better. The only time we ever get plays like that are on blown coverage. Yeah, same thing with everybody. But this is a great play. Absolutely fantastic play here. You're going to have, Mac Hollins. He's just going to go on a streak route. Tua's going to get pressure. He's going to step up to his left, and he's going to hit Mac Hollins deep. We'll look at it multiple times to break things down. But he gets pressure on his backside, steps up, and while moving, so the kid doesn't plant his feet. Again, you know what? In this view, we'll look at the pass, but then I'll show you his footwork and the other view. So let me go back real quick, because we'll look at Mac Hollins here. Because people said, I heard it's a punt, and he turned around and he could have fair caught it. Also, that the nearest defender on the blown coverage was 20 yards away, which it's about 10 here. Say about 10 here. But he doesn't stop. He turns around. Never stops. Mac Hollins never stops running. He just rotates to catch it. Never stops running. I don't understand where people say, oh, he turned around and he waited for that ball and it was like a punt. He never stops moving. Turns around. He backpedals. He never stops moving. So I don't know what people are seeing to say he stopped for it like a punt, but he never stops running. He's running, turns around, backpedals, catches it, and then turns the other way and keeps running. His feet never stop moving. He never stops running. Now let's look at it from this point of view. Because again, I've heard Tua had to put his whole body into it. Which, when you have to put your whole body into it, you have to plant your foot, lean back, and let it rip. Tua doesn't plant his feet. Tua doesn't get his feet set to throw this ball 50-something yards. The longest air pass this week out of the NFL. He doesn't get his feet planted to throw it. Because again, who lets the pressure in, boys and girls? The man who should not be at right tackle steps up, never plants his feet, moving forward, lets that thing fly. And again, Javon Holland doesn't stop. He doesn't stop moving. So, again, more of that to it. More of that. More of the pass to Albert Wilson. More of you staying in the pressure and throwing it to Sheen. More of that and less of missing open touchdowns and sailing and missing potential first downs. More of this, because again, just to debunk some of the stupid things you're hearing. One, that Matt Collins waited for the ball, never waited for the ball. Two, Tua had to put his whole body into it. Tua never stopped moving and never set his feet. What is other things I've heard? It floated. That ball didn't float. That ball did not float. We'll look at it again. That ball got there. So, also I heard people say that the reaction of the OC was to, wow, he actually made the pass, or wow, that pass sucked. No, he's laughing because of how Matt Collins kept his feet in. Getting pushed, he kept his feet in. I'm telling you, people try to find things and just the most ridiculous things. Just be happy. Why can't we just be happy? So this is going to be the defensive pass interference. And my God, you'll see it. It's going to be down here. It's going to be on Xavier Howard. He's essentially going to be running an in and out route at about the 47-ish. And just watch these two, and you tell me if you think this is defensive pass interference. You think that was defensive pass interference? And I'll show you the contact that they deemed defensive pass interference. There. That was defensive pass interference. Penalty was declined anyway because he caught the ball. That's all I'm going to say. We'll move on. So this is the fair catch interference. And if you guys remember from my recap video, I read you the definition of you have to make contact. And from me watching this multiple times, there was contact being made. That is because the receiver or the punt returner, Barrios, went forward to catch the ball and essentially walked into our defender's leg. So there was contact, but I feel like the contact was made by the kick returner. You'll see here. It's hard to see because it's far away. But see how he waves it off? See his leg is sticking out here. He's not making contact, and he's not making contact. Then see how he leans forward to get the ball. So if 22 never puts his leg out, it's right there. He puts his leg out. Not touching him. He's not touching him at this point. And then when he leans forward, see, I don't know if I'll be able to get it at the lean forward part. Let's see. Right there. See how he moves forward? He leans forward, he hits into his leg, and that's when he fumbles the ball. I think if 22 didn't have his leg out like that, and if he was standing next to him, I think he still doesn't catch that ball, and I think we still get it there. But the fact that he hit into his leg, it's flagged for interference, which I'll give it to you. So this is the touchdown that ends up tying the game 14-14, and they look like they're sending the zero blitz, but they're not. And unfortunately, Byron Jones up here, he's going to dive for the ball to try to smack the ball out. Misses, and I think it's 82. No, I think 82 goes this way. I think he goes on the outside. Because he's essentially telling him, I got the outside guy, you got the inside guy. But if you're going to send the pressure, right? Because watch. They drop him back. So they only send 5. They keep all these guys to block in. They send 3 receivers out. The Dolphins drop back all these players, right? 4 receivers. My apologies. But we drop back 6. At this point, if we did send all that pressure, the pressure would have been getting into Joe Flacco's face. But it doesn't, so he gets time for this to happen, and he tries to get the ball, doesn't get it, runs it back for the touchdown. If they would have just sent the pressure instead of dropping those guys back into coverage, I think the pressure gets there, and I don't think the receiver has enough time to get open, and this touchdown doesn't happen. There's a lot of plays in this game that if they cleaned it up, it would have been the blowout we expected. especially with the non-interception, especially with this touchdown, the pick play. It would be 21. I mean, yeah, especially if you hit Gesicki for that touchdown, it'd be 21-0. The blowout we expected. They need to run these plays more. They did this last year, and I don't understand why they're not doing it more. So essentially you have Waddle here. He's going to be running a crossing route, and it's going to be a play action here, and then they're going to roll Tua out this way. And then, so they're going to roll him out to his left, and he has all of these routes over here. But what he does is, and they need to do this more because it really does mess with the opposing defense's mind, he hits Waddle all the way over here. And you'll see why it works so well, right? Play action, pulling over, and then he comes over here, and you have all these routes coming over here. So the whole defense is, and you saw it happen, right? They need to do this more. Watch this defender here, who's supposed to be covering Waddle, right? Watch this defender. See that? Caught him. Tua sees it. The plan, his number one receiver and the play all along is to get it to Waddle. Gets it to Waddle, and if he could have just kept his feet in, that would have been another long touchdown that we got. But unfortunately steps out here because he would have been gone. I think he beats him. But they need to do that more because they did that last year, I think against the Chargers, where Durham Smythe went out. So they rolled Tua to his left, and then Smythe went out, blocked and go. Dumped it off to him. He's wide open. Call these plays more. They work. This is going to be another beautiful pass from Tua. He's going to have Waddle here on an out route. And the anticipation on this throw and the ball placement, again, he is on the right hash mark. He is going to be throwing it to the left sideline. These passes are not easy, especially in an NFL field. Very big. Gets the time in the pocket. And look when he throws it. Just puts the ball. We'll look at it from another angle because it's hard to see here. But he just puts the ball exactly where it needs to be. Jets look like they're sending pressure. They do send pressure. They send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a block. Man on a man. And just puts it right where it needs to be. And especially gives him a chance to get both his feet down. He makes plays like this, but then he misses on other plays. He needs to learn to be more consistent. He needs to learn to be more reliable. These are things that he will learn in time. He will learn with a better offensive line in front of him. He'll learn with better coaching. Now, am I saying it's all on the offensive coordinator? Not really, but it does help. But he's learning, and he is getting better. Last thing I'm going to show you is Jalen Phillips' sack. Because, again, one of you guys said that you wanted to see it. He's going to pull a stunt, and he's going to come around here. He's actually going to get held. I think it's by 72. We don't get that call. But this essentially seals the game for us. At this point, I think we are up 21-14. This is third down. They punt the ball back to us. We just turn the clock, kick the field goal, and essentially this seals the game for us. But you'll see here, he gets the pressure. So they're coming at him. Peels off to the outside. Big old hold here. Apparently everyone's blind to it. Gets off that. Gets the sack. It's just a great play here. And that's one of the things that I notice he does really well. Because sometimes they'll line him up. They'll have Emmanuel Ogbah on the inside. And they'll have Jalen Phillips on the outside. And they'll have a crossing route here. But he's so good at doing that. And they set it up too. Because if you look, they try to leave Emmanuel Ogbah by himself. See how these guys are bunched and you have this huge gap here? They're trying to leave him by himself because they got the tight end here. So he's got a long way to go to make this block to try to get around the edge. These four guys are going to have to shift this way. It's a plan. It's planned out perfectly. He's going to have to come up, block this way. He's going to have to come up, block this way, and block this way because they are shifted that way. And then you have this guy who's going to have to come over and block that way, which leaves a huge lane here. And what does Jalen Phillips do? He uses his stunt to get into that lane I showed you, because he's going to come around to the outside, and you'll see it. Right? What'd I say? They all have to shift this way to block. He has to make up for the compensation of that empty gap. Huge gap, huge lane here. Comes around the lane. Boom. Bob's your uncle. There's your sack. But that is the video. That is the film breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, this was a good game. Again, it's messy. Tua is a little inconsistent. He makes such great plays, but then on the other end, he misses some potential plays where he doesn't make the throws that need to be made. He's very up and down, and the good teams will take advantage of his up and down and make his downs pay. So he needs to learn from those things. Being that this is his 14th game, almost will have a full year under his belt when it comes to gameplay. He is learning, but he needs to do better, and he needs to be more consistent if he wants to shut the certain people up. But from this game, Javon Holland making plays, Waddle making plays, just it was a team victory in the aspect of the defense made plays when they needed to, the offense made plays when they needed to. Special teams, Sanders needs to step it up a little bit. I don't know why he missed that field goal from 30-something yards out, but good win. Now on to Carolina. But other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow with the Thanksgiving video. But later today, you're going to get the picks video. So keep your eyes out for that. Other than that, like usual, stay classy and fins up.